So the last video showed you how to make a button through Flash. Now let's do a rollover button via CSS and HTML. So I'm going to go back over to Photoshop, and I'm going to take this slice and I'm going to double it so that one half of it looks this way and another half of it looks another way. So let's do it this way. Let's go File, Open. We'll open the slice. So the slice will be in Images, and it is next Flash file. Whoa, which one do I want to do? I guess I want to do this one. What did I call it? Main button. So I'm going to open this up. This is the slice as it exists right now. And the first thing I want to do is double the canvas size. So I'm going to go Image, Canvas Size. I want to expand it to the right, so I click on the left, which is counterintuitive in some ways, but I'm anchoring it on the left to expand it to the right by exactly 200%. So switch to percent and go 200. And I think I need to zoom out a little bit here. So the idea is that we're going to have two versions of this, and we're going to shift when we hover over it. Anyway, you'll see. So the question is how to get all that onto another layer. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we want to unlock that one. And there are a couple of ways of doing this, but probably the best way is to actually use the rectangular marquee and get it exactly copied. So I guess to do that, I've got to zoom back in. So I'm going to zoom back in, Command plus, and I'm going to start my selection over here and drag over slowly and get it just exactly snap. There it is. So I got to copy, or I got to select it. I'm going to copy it. Now I can go back out. And I want a new layer. So I think when I paste, I get a new layer. And I'm going to move that new layer and snap it. It should snap. If you have snap on, it should snap. If you just let go, when it's close, it'll snap. So the left-hand side is what we're going to see usually, and then we're going to shift everything to the left, so we'll see this. And the one thing that I realized, which is a little bit unfortunate, is I didn't pick the best font for picking buttons, because that F goes way the heck down, so I just can't change the color of this. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make some sort of change, I suppose. I mean, any change at all. I'm just going to do something a little bit funky. I'm going to put little stars. So fast forward through this as I put little stars around the beaches. When we hover over it, we're going to see little stars. And I don't know how this is going to look, what I'm going to do, but anyway, I'll fast forward through it and do it in a couple minutes. Alright, so I've got my beaches of the Caribbean, and I've got my other side. So I'll save over this. In fact, I can just go save, and it'll replace it when I go to the JPEG format. Index main button, not with a copy. Save and replace. So now it's ready to go, ready to be used. So we're going to go back over, and actually it wouldn't hurt to show you what this would look like right now. So right now we haven't changed any of the HTML, so we just save this. There's nothing to save, and we're going to control and we're going to run it. We're going to see that that button is now twice the size, right? We don't want that. So what we do is we use CSS. We go back, and the first thing we're going to need to do is make a CSS file. So yet one more organizational folder, and this one new, we'll call it CSS, or CSS, we'll just call it CSS. Finish. So inside that goes our new cascading style sheet, which we'll just call new CSS. That's fine. And we'll need two identifiers, specific identifiers. Hashtag for the identifier, we'll call it rollover for main button. That's probably not the best, but it'll do for now. And we're going to need another one. I might as well do it now for the hover. So it'll be this colon hover, specifically for the hover when we hover the mouse over it. So what we're going to do is make the display to be a certain type, to be block. And we're going to make the width and the height to be certain values. Is this an old one or a new one? That's an old one. And index main button, it's this one, 745, 135. PX for pixels. And importantly, the last thing then is the background. And the background is going to be the image. The image we're going to get using a URL. And the URL is going to take in a certain file name and path. And it's important to note here that we're now inside a folder called CSS. So we need to get out of it and into the images folder. So to get out of a folder, to go back, you go .. which takes us back out of that folder and then into this directory, and it's the images folder that we need to get into. / here is our button image .jpg semicolon. Okay, that'll do that. And let's just take this one step at a time. So what that's going to do is replace the image tag right here. So we still need our A tag. We still need to link to page 2. And we certainly still need the TD, the table data in which this goes. But no longer are we getting our image this way. We're getting our image by using this as the ID. And then it'll do the width and the height, and it'll tell us what the image is using background. Haven't quite got to the magic yet, but let's paste it in, and this is going to be an ID. ID equals double quotes that. And that is the ID of, so I pasted it in the wrong place, that's the ID of the A tag. Alright, and then the hover is where the magic comes in. The hover is that we do the background position, right? It's going to be minus, it's going to shift to the left by its width, so 745 px. Right, and we're going to save this, and we're going to go back and save this, and then link to the new CSS, which is an easy thing to forget to do, but we're not going to forget to do it right now. And actually, the reason we're not going to forget to do it is that I did it in my dry run, so it's there already. So the link and the rel, and have I got that correct? In the dry run, did I call it? No, in the dry run I called it my CSS, so I need to change this to what it's called now, which is CSS. And the new CSS is still the same. So we should be in business. Just want to check. We have data, we have a link, and the link goes to page 2. What is it? It's not an image, it's an ID, which is that, which is this, which is the right size, and the right image. And when we hover, that image is going to shift to the left. So let's run it. And we're going to run it right here. And when we hover, the stars come up. Isn't that nice? And normally what you do is you just change the color or whatever, but I think you get that idea. So there we go. That's it.